Hey, what's up? In this video I'm going to show you how to make a carbon fiber outer barrel for your Vsr-10. It will give your rifle a sleek look and technically weigh a little less, but not by much. This project is easier than you think, so don't feel intimidated. Let's get started with what you need. Alright, so you'll need a carbon fiber tube, 29mm outer diameter by 27mm inner diameter. I'll go over the dimensions shortly. A stock VSR outer barrel helps for a reference. A ruler, scissors, and some scrap paper. A pen and silver Sharpie are recommended. You'll also need a cutting wheel of some sort, a drill and drill bits, maybe a grinder wheel and Dremel for some touch-up. A blowgun and cutting pliers can also help. The last thing that I almost forgot to mention is some stick-on felt. It helps with final fitment. Here's a list of recommended supplies so you can take a screenshot. Moving right along, let's talk about material. The most important part is the carbon fiber tube. You can get it from Amazon, eBay, or wherever. I'll leave some links below. But make sure you get 29mm outer diameter by 27mm inner diameter. You need those sizes for proper fitment and assembly. 27mm inner diameter allows VSR hop-up chambers and barrel spacers to fit properly. 29mm outer diameter allows the finished barrel to fit into the receiver. Anyway, let's get started. First, you want to make a hop-up chamber window template. This will make the project very easy. To make it even easier, here is the exact template size I use in the video. All I did was mark, measure, and cut a piece of paper to match the hop-up window on a stock barrel. You can just cut a piece of paper 1 inch by 2 inch and it will work just fine. Now, take your carbon fiber tube and cut it to the proper length. Here are some length references for stock outer barrel sizes. If you cut your tube and it looks like shit, you can level it out with a cookie wheel. Next up, you want to line up your carbon fiber tube next to your stock barrel. Using a flat surface against a wall or with an edge is ideal. I'm using a shop cart. Holding the barrel and tube evenly against the edge, take your marker and mark the carbon fiber tube in line with this part of the hop window. Marking the opposite side of the window can help give you a more accurate window cut. But you can also just trace your template like this to get your cutting reference. This section right here will be your hop-up chamber window. So take some form of cutting wheel and carefully cut the rectangular window shape out of the tube. Go slow and don't remove too much material. When you're done with the hop-up window, the next step is to drill 2 holes, so let's make 2 more marks. The most important hole is this one. It's a mounting hole for the mag block. You want to mark it and drill it perfectly centered above the hop window, just like a factory VSR barrel. The other, larger hole I believe is for unjamming if you ever have a misfeed. That one doesn't have to be perfect. Just make sure it's somewhere around here and that a 6mm BB can easily pass through it. Moving on to the drilling. Drill out your mag block screw hole. It's best to use a drill bit 1 to 2 sizes bigger than a mag block mounting screw. Doing this will give you more fine-tuning adjustment when assembling your rifle. Then, after that, use a bigger bit and drill out the misfeed hole. Again, this one doesn't have to be perfectly centered. Look at mine. If at any point you find out your window isn't properly sized, you can use a Dremel to touch it up. When you're all done fine-tuning, always blow out the excess carbon fiber dust. I also like to trim off any excess strands with cutting pliers. At this point, your carbon fiber barrel is pretty much complete. Just make sure it looks something like this and we can move on to assembly. If everything looks good, you can install your inner barrel and hop-up chamber into your new carbon fiber barrel. I recommend putting some felt on the barrel under the mag block. Cut a small piece of felt and then cut a section out like this to clear the screw. Place the felt right here. It helps eliminate play in the barrel group. Now put your mag block on and start threading in the screws. Before you tighten them, you should have some movement like this if you ever need to make any fine adjustments. Finish tightening your mag block screws and we can test fit. This is where you might need some more stick-on felt. This exaggerated example shows how your barrel and receiver move when you tighten the rear stock screw. It can pull them down and push on the cylinder. This can cause the bolt pull to be hard. If you have a hard bolt pull when your rifle is together, add a piece of felt or two on the bottom of the receiver where it contacts this part of the stock. Using felt, you can adjust the spacing until your bolt pull is smooth when your stock bolts are tight to the receiver. I hope all of my small tips help. But that's it. Now you have a carbon fiber outer barrel for your Vsr-10. Just remember that this is a homemade barrel and not one that was perfectly engineered for your rifle, so you may need to make some minor adjustments. Check your air seal and make sure your mags fit before hitting the field. If you don't want to make this barrel yourself, you have a few options. You could email me. I can tell you all the measurements you need if you don't have a stock barrel for a reference. Or I highly recommend ordering one from this guy on the HopUp app. He also has a website called CustomAirsoftBarrels.com. He makes a lot of carbon fiber barrels for VSRs as well as other parts for airsoft rifles. Be sure to check him out. That's all I have for you today. I hope this DIY guide was helpful to you in some way. Don't forget to subscribe and check out my other videos. Thanks for watching.